pushed American farmers into a corner. You might not believe it, but it's not Trump or China. It's the economic wizards like President Milei of Argentina. It's the soybean harvest season, but there's no joy in the fields of the American Midwest. Many farmers have posted piles of soybeans on social media, complaining that Chinese orders have vanished. But that's not the worst part. What really makes their situation worse is that Argentina, on the other side of the world, has just pulled out a killer move. Not long ago, the Milei government announced a policy that shocked the global agricultural market. The soybean export tariff was directly reduced from 26% to 0%. And other major agricultural products like corn also received the same treatment. In simple terms, Argentina is now encouraging farmers to sell their grains abroad, and they are doing so at retail prices. Why is this considered a desperate act of dumping? Because it's not a normal market competition strategy, but a desperate move by a country with a nearly depleted foreign exchange reserve. Since Milei took office over a year ago, he has sold off all the state-owned assets Argentina could sell and borrowed almost all the international loans it could. These operations temporarily stabilized the sharp decline of the Argentine peso, but the fundamental problem remains unsolved. The country's dollar reserves are almost exhausted. Data shows that Argentina has debts of $4.5 billion due in January next year and $5 billion in July, but the central bank doesn't have enough dollars to repay them. If they don't find money quickly, Argentina is likely to repeat the tragedy of sovereign debt default, which is no joke. Once in default, the entire country's credit system will collapse. Import trade will come to a standstill, and foreign capital will flee in droves. That's why the Milei government resorted to this desperate measure of zero-tariff grain exports, hoping that farmers will convert soybeans and corn into dollars as quickly as possible. The effect was immediate. A 26% reduction in the soybean export tariff means that Argentine soybeans instantly have a 26% price advantage in the international market. Argentine soybeans are already of good quality, and now they are 25% cheaper. Who wouldn't be tempted? According to reports, within just one day after the policy was announced, Chinese buyers ordered at least 10 shipments of Argentine soybeans. At such a discounted price, Argentine soybeans have become a hot commodity in the international market. And this is bad news for American soybean farmers. They were already under pressure due to reduced Chinese purchases of American soybeans. Now, global buyers are flocking to cheaper Argentine soybeans. For American soybeans to sell, they have to follow suit and lower their prices. But with high agricultural costs in the U.S. and already thin profit margins, further price cuts would mean many farms operating at a loss. Some might ask, isn't Milei on good terms with Trump? Why is he causing trouble for Trump behind the scenes? In fact, this is not a deliberate move by Milei against the U.S. Who does he have time for? Inflation in Argentina is soaring, and the purchasing power of the people has sharply declined. At this time, implementing zero tariffs and encouraging grain exports, will domestic market supplies be affected? Will prices rise even higher? These are all unknowns. Milei's economic policies have always been controversial.